All right, let's get to it. Let me drink some water. Truth is, I'm tired. Okay, let's get into it. On today's book discussion, we will be discussing Paris Hilton's latest drop, Paris, the Memoir. Ooh. And for this one, I actually had to listen to the audiobook. I think by the time I found out about this book, because I did not know anything about it, it wasn't available in print yet. So this was on my app where I listen to audiobooks. So let's get into it. Let me pull my notes up. So if you don't know, I don't even know how to describe Paris Hilton after reading this book, but I will say some words that come to mind: the original, the originator, the it girl. Okay, Paris, the Hilton, Paris bad Hilton. So Paris Hilton is years older than me. So when I was growing up, I didn't really know too much about her because she was this rich white blonde girl. That's really all I really knew. But I'm glad that I actually picked this book up because she did her 1-2. Paris, if you ever watch this video, girl, you did your 1-2 with this one. And in the beginning, she explains how she has ADHD and that the book is going to be all over the place. And I really felt like it was all over the place, but it wasn't bad. Let me throw that out there. It wasn't bad at all. So Paris Hilton, in this wonderful book that she wrote, she talks about her life pretty much from a young age to where she's at now. And during her younger years, she had bad experiences. Like when she was young, she was great. And also one of her teachers was a PDF file. Tough times. And she used to sneak out the house a lot to go party. And I feel her because she was probably, well, she really was that it girl. So they let her into parties 15 years old. And she would just always sneak out. And that led her parents to putting her in a cult disguised as a boarding school. And it's so crazy because a while back I watched a documentary about schools like this where kids were just pretty much tortured, and from the outside looking in, parents just thought, oh, I have a troubled teen. Her parents was thinking, Paris can't stay in the house, she always sneaking out, we don't know where she be at, she be going for days sometimes. So her parents really felt that she needed this higher level of discipline. And it's really amazing to see that even though she went to the school, she was doing really, it was really horrible, the experiences. The faculty there, look at them naked in the shower. They had to really demean each other, talk about each other, say the worst of the worst things to each other to try to break each other. And just imagine you're in that environment, what that does to you. Even she told about experience, I forgot what they called it, like oblong or something like that. Like, it's a weirdly shaped room, and they would have to, like, basically like a solitary, they would have to go in there and just sit there for hours as punishment by themselves. And there, obviously, since I didn't know about Paris Hilton, there was a lot that I really didn't know. Like, she went to jail. I think I really heard about the sex tape that happened, but not too much. Like, I was younger. But what I did learn, she's a DJ. I did not know that. Songwriter. And she wrote this song called Stars Are Blind. And I went to go listen to it, and it was really dope. Shout out to Paris for that song. She's an author, real estate investor, and she had an entrepreneur. She does fragrances. And I did, back in the day, my dad did buy me the Paris Hilton fragrance. I remember that. But all these things I really didn't know about her. And the way that she wrote this book, it really made me want to know more about her. Like, even during COVID, I believe, she put out a documentary that I'd never seen or heard of, but I went to go watch it after reading this book, because she really wrote it in a way that I was like, let me know a little more about Paris Hilton. So she experienced a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, and some of the messages I got from this book, people don't believe celebrities are real people. And I couldn't imagine that lifestyle. And I remember when she was in the book, she was saying about the whole sex tape situation, how it was from somebody that she trusted. And then they decided, oh, let me make my money off of Paris, you know. And she didn't even want to do it. And then they put it out. It was nothing that she could do to stop it. Another time was, I guess she had a storage unit, and somebody ended up finding it and wanted to put, and decided to put all her business out there. So that's when people found out that she had an abortion before. And it's just like, people don't, like I said, they don't believe that celebrities are real people. Like, they have feelings. Like, they go through stuff as well. People think, oh, you got money, you shouldn't have no problems, but they got feelings too. And one message I would say from the sex tape, and I've always said this, don't mess with people who do not have nothing to lose. That is a big philosophy in my life. Because, baby, if you ain't got nothing to lose, you gonna do any and everything when it come down to it. Okay? So that's not the kind of people I hang around. And that's a message that was reiterated within this book. Oh, one of the sayings that I really enjoyed, and I believe her mom would used to say this, is don't give it oxygen. Don't give it oxygen is so real to me, because I'm one of those people, like, I'm not gonna say too much. And I realize not everything needs a response. So don't give it oxygen is really one of the things that I took away from this book. But shout out to Paris for doing her big one. Like, she does real estate, and it's so interesting to me, because at a point in her life, she decided, like, I want to get out here and really get this money. I know I come from money, but I want to do my own thing. I want to build a name for myself, and that's what she did. And even when the whole paparazzi situation, how she loved the paparazzi, of course, you know, she did her pictures, but when she decided that she was going to create the narrative for herself, and she started putting out selfies and becoming a real influencer, and decided that she is going to be the one to take over the narrative for her. So I really appreciated that. Like, let me see what else. Yeah, she did go through her struggles. And it was so funny, because watching the documentary, and I also did go to her Instagram and, you know, just scrolled a little bit because, yeah, I don't follow her necessarily, but shout out to her. And when she wrote this book, she didn't have any kids, and she really wanted kids. And I see now that she has, I believe, 2 kids now. Don't quote me on that, but I believe she does. So shout out to her. Shout out to her for finding what love is, because, you know, she dealt with many men within her life. And even when I watched that documentary, y'all, if y'all seen it, y'all know I'm talking about, when that guy, when she was DJing at that big concert, I think it was Tomorrow World or Tomorrowland, something like that. And she was DJing, and then the dude that she was with was really ruining her moment. And that really was getting to me. So girl, I'm glad you left him, because he was not the one for you. Like, baby, you making this about you. It's really not. Give me that wristband, okay? Give it to me. So I'm glad that she's found Carter, I believe his name is, and that she really doing her thing. And that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. I would definitely recommend you reading this book. Y'all know I love autobiographies for one, but she really was, I feel like, vulnerable in this, and she expressed a lot of her life, and that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta be vulnerable. Sometimes you just gotta let it out there. So yeah, that's a wrap. I don't really have too much to say. I just wanted to discuss this book really quick. Great read, and I appreciate her for actually reading her own audiobook. Sometimes I hate when other people read other people's audiobook. Like, bro, you couldn't spend your time to read your own audiobook. But yeah, that's it.